All right, so you've decided to run WordPress on DigitalOcean. Great call. It's super powerful. But now you're faced with a choice, right? There are so many ways to set it up. So the big question is, which one is right for you? Let's break it down and figure that out. Yeah, does this screen look a little overwhelming? You log in and you're hit with droplets, Kubernetes, marketplace apps, all these third-party tools. It's easy to just freeze up. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a one-person shop or a growing agency. Making the wrong choice here can cause some serious headaches later on. But here's the thing. All those confusing options, they all basically fall somewhere on one simple spectrum. On one side, you have total control. I mean, you get to tweak every little thing. On the other side, you've got total convenience, where it's all just done for you. And that's the trade-off we're going to dig into. Control versus convenience. Okay, let's start all the way on one end of that spectrum. We'll call this the manual path. This is for the control freaks, and I say that with love. It's for the folks who want to build their machine from scratch and know exactly how every single bolt is tightened. This is the path of total control. Here's a good way to think about it. You're not just buying a house, you're being your own general contractor. You're out there pouring the foundation, framing the walls, picking out every single nail. The upside? You get ultimate freedom. The downside? You're also the one who gets the call at 2 a.m. when the roof starts leaking. It's all on you. So what does building it yourself actually mean in the server world? Well, it means you're getting your hands dirty. You're spinning up a bare droplet, and then you're SSHing in to install and configure everything piece by piece. The web server, Apache or Nginx, the database, PHP, setting up UFW, the whole shebang. It's the classic LAMP or LEMP stack, built by you from the ground up. Okay, but here's the catch, and it's a big one. The hidden cost of all that control is your time. We're talking 15 to 30 hours a month, and let's be clear, that's not time spent building cool new features. Nope, that's just keeping the lights on, doing security patches, managing updates, checking backups, freaking out when something breaks. That time adds up, and it adds up fast. Phew. Okay, so that manual path is a lot. So what if you don't want to do everything yourself? Let's slide over a bit on our spectrum to the middle ground. This is the assisted path, where we bring in control panels. This is all about finding that happy medium, that balance between doing it yourself and having some help.
Let's go back to our house analogy. This is like hiring a contractor to do the heavy lifting, right? They pour the foundation, they put up the framing, they run the plumbing. The core structure is solid, but you're still the one who has to pick the paint colors, hang the drywall, and furnish the place. The tough stuff is done, but the finishing is still on you.
So what kind of heavy lifting are we talking about? Well, tools like Cloudways or SpinupWP are fantastic at automating all that tedious, repetitive stuff. Provisioning the server, installing the software stack, handling SSL certs, setting up automatic backups. They just take a massive chunk of that monthly operational headache right off your shoulders. But, and this is a really important but, look at what's still on your to-do list. You're still the one on the hook for WordPress updates, for plugin updates, for what happens when a plugin update breaks the site. You're still in charge of incident response and that whole tricky dance of syncing changes between your dev, staging, and production sites. So yeah, the foundation is laid, but you're still the homeowner responsible for the upkeep. Okay, so that brings us all the way to the other end of the spectrum, the path of total convenience. We're talking about the automated path, and this is a huge leap. We're not just talking about automating server setup anymore. We're talking about automating the entire way you work, how you build, test, and deploy your code. And the big idea here is something called the SDLC. It sounds fancy, but all it means is the software development lifecycle. It's just the entire journey your code takes, from an idea in your head to you typing it out, all the way to it being live on the internet for everyone to see. And automating that entire journey, that's the holy grail of convenience. I'm willing to bet this workflow looks painfully familiar to a lot of you. This is the old way, right? You code on your machine, you fire up your SFTP client and drag and drop files to a staging server. You test, you find a bug, you fix it on your machine, you drag and drop again. Then you do the whole thing one more time for production. It's slow, it's clunky, and every single one of those manual steps is a place where things can go wrong. So how do we fix that? The magic behind this new automated world is a concept called GitOps. All this really means is that Git, where you're already storing your code, becomes the boss. It becomes the single source of truth. Whatever your code looks like in their Git repository is what your website will look like automatically. No more SFTP, ever. And look at the difference. It's night and day. In a GitOps world, your workflow is this. You write code, and you do a Git push. That's literally it. The system sees your push, automatically spins up a temporary environment for you to test. Looks good, you merge your branch, and poof, it's automatically deployed to production. That whole clunky, error-prone manual process we just talked about, it's gone, replaced by a couple of simple commands you're already using. All right, so we've traveled from one end of the spectrum to the other, from total hands-on control to complete push-button convenience. So now for the big question, which path is the right one for you? Let's get practical and look at a few common scenarios. Let's say you're a solo developer. Your main concerns are probably budget and, well, your own time. A tool like SpinupWP really hits the sweet spot here. It's not super expensive, but it still gives you some of that awesome Git-based deployment magic. It's a great balance of saving time without breaking the bank. But what happens when you're not solo anymore? Maybe you're a small agency with a few developers. Now your biggest headache isn't just the server, it's coordinating the team. This is where a fully automated SDLC platform really starts to shine. It helps make sure developers aren't overwriting each other's work. It can handle client previews and approvals. It basically lets your team grow without the chaos. Okay, different scenario. Imagine you're a nonprofit or any small team where nobody's official job title is server expert. What's your top priority? Probably simplicity and having someone to call when things go sideways. This is where a managed solution like Cloudways is a lifesaver. It's built to be user-friendly, and that 24/7 support, that's not just a feature, it's peace of mind. And finally, the enterprise. At this scale, the game totally changes. It's no longer just about getting a site online. It's about governance, security, compliance, risk management. You absolutely need things like role-based access control, strict approval gates before anything goes to production, and the ability to intervene in an emergency. For enterprise teams, this level of control isn't a bonus, it's a non-negotiable requirement. So let's bring it all home. At the end of the day, it really boils down to this one simple question you have to ask yourself. What are you really optimizing for? Are you optimizing for the absolute lowest monthly bill, even if it costs you your weekends? Are you optimizing for that deep down satisfaction of having control over every single config file? Or are you optimizing for your sanity, for your team's happiness and productivity? There's no wrong answer here, but being honest about your answer is the only way you'll find the path that's truly right for you.